Okay, in this video we're going to take a look at the screw. The screw here has the Acme thread modeled onto it, and what we'll be able to do here is create the base solid as a simple revolve, and then we'll come in and cut sweep our thread here. So let's take a look. Okay, so starting in the front plane, I'll create a new sketch. And again, we'll use the origin as our organizing reference point here. I'll start with a vertical construction line, and now I'll go ahead and sketch out just the base revolve profile. So let's start with a line here, starting at the top. Actually, let's start here at the bottom. I'm going to start here with that angled edge, and don't worry about the dimensions for right now. We'll come back and adjust them. And then we'll finish off with the head here, and then add our smart dimensions. So from the very bottom here to the very top, we're going to set that to a distance of 5.225. You can see we can do some adjustments right here. Alright, now from the top here to this edge, we're going to set that to 0.800, and then the full length of what will eventually be the thread, this is going to be 360. And then let's zoom into this detail area here. Okay, so we got a distance of 350 here. And then we've got 150 here. And this is at 0.20. And we're starting with this edge at 0.05. And then this edge to the center here, we're going to use a distance of 0.380 divided by 2. This edge here to the center, you can see if we go over our center line there, we could establish the total diameter, and that's going to be at 0.20. And we'll do the same thing here at 0.38. Alright, and as we continue up, the distance from this edge to here will be 0.5. And then from here to the center there, we can have a total of 0.750. So here's our overall profile and detail at the bottom there. Now we're ready to go ahead and revolve it. And it's okay if it's open, because we're going to be just creating a solid and using the construction line there for the revolution axis, okay, for a full 360, and click OK. And then let's go ahead and select the very top edge here so we can create our chamfer, and that's a 0.05 at 45 degrees. Okay, and then we'll use the right plane to create a sketch And let's get normal to that. You could also do this in the front plane actually. But here we've got a sketch circle along the center there. And we'll set the dimension there at 0.250. Now let's go ahead and use our cut extrude, and we'll use our sketch here to do a mid-plane cut extrude, and make sure you just go through the surface on both sides. Click OK. And now we're ready to focus our attention on the Acme screw thread. Keep in mind that what we want to do here is we want to, again, create the sketch profile for the thread. We want to create a sketch circle for the helix, create this helix, and then do our cut sweep. So let's continue. Okay, so let's start by getting into the right plane and creating a sketch. I'm going to get normal to this view, and I'll use my Alt key with my arrows to turn this on its side. It's just going to be easier for me to sketch this out. Now remember, we're going to have the thread come all the way up to the face here, but we're going to give us a little bit of relief, about equal to the pitch. So we're going to offset our thread profile here by 0.1. So let's start first with a center line here. Okay, and then we'll create another one using the smart dimension 0.1. Okay, let's make sure that, first of all, I'm going to undo that and make sure that this center line here and this face are collinear. Okay, now I can change the dimension to 0.10 so that this will be pushed away. Okay, and let's see if we can get normal again. I'll use Alt and my arrow keys, my left arrow key here. Alright, and I'll establish a center line from the origin here, which perfectly bisects our cylinder here. Okay, and now we'll go ahead and get ready to sketch our thread profile. Now we're going to do the inverse because we're going to remove to reveal our thread profile. Alright, so let's go ahead and sketch out our thread profile here. Let's go ahead and start with this line here. Turn on our dynamic mirror, and we're going to sketch out the negative part of our tooth profile here. Let's adjust the thread profile here to show 29 degrees, a 320 root, and 0.06 depth for the tooth profile. So closing this sketch, I'm going to select this face, and I'll create a new plane, and I'm going to offset it by 0.1, and I'll use this new plane to create a new sketch, and I'll get normal to that, and I'll use a circle sketch here, setting the diameter to 0.5. Okay, and we'll use this circle together with our helix spiral. We'll reverse the direction, We have about 38 revolutions to go through the entire large cylinder. Our pitch is 0.10. Set our start angle to 180. There it is. Okay, so we've got our start angle of 180, pitch of 0.1, 38 revolutions. Now that we have the helix and we have our profile, let's go ahead and do the sweep cut. Let's select the tooth profile, and then we'll select the helix, and that should produce our final Acme thread. Now you can go ahead and provide some color or add material, and then continue with the technical drawing views.